Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'll be going over the Rex Shares Solana plus staking ETF, ticker SSK, as requested by you, the audience, and give you some ideas on how you could add this to your portfolio. But before I get into the video, all right, please smash that button for the algorithm gods. They are very, very harsh. All right, just to let them know that I'm here, and hit subscribe if you're new so you're alerted every time I publish a new video about stocks, investing, finance, and news. With that out of the way, guys, let's hop into it. All right, so not too long ago, I posted a poll and you guys, the audience, have answered it. All right. That poll is right here, somewhere down here. There we go. All right. The poll was, basically, what would you like to see more of? ETF reviews and ideas. We got 52% of the votes. Market news videos around stocks tied to high yield ETFs, 32%, and psychology mindset for investing in the high yield space, 16%. All right. So if you guys have any ETFs you would like me to review, all right, please put it down below in the comment section so I can add it to my lineup, all right? And I will do my best to give you guys a little more in-depth, a little more sauce for these ETFs versus, just kind of going over the charts or just looking at kind of the product page. I like to look at ETFs in a more tactical way and how I could include them in my portfolio for a broader strategy, all right? So anyways, let's move on, guys. Okay, so this is the SSK, all right, the Rex Osprey Solana plus staking ETF, and I'm going to just go over what this is, and then we'll take a look a little deeper. All right. So basically, this is crypto staking in a box. That's really it. If you guys don't know what crypto staking is, no worries. We're going to go over that. All right. But SSK is the first US listed ETF that gives you exposure to Solana plus blockchain native rewards of staking. All right. So it's like you're able to buy crypto and make a yield on it. So this is what makes this very, very interesting. All right. This was built by Rex and Osprey. SSK unlocks staking rewards through the ease and transparency of the ETF structure. Again, I always kind of say that, everything in the future is going to be an ETF. And this is exactly that. It just gives fund managers such a wide, I want to call it more freedom, a wide range of tools that they can utilize in the ETF. So I really think we're going to start seeing more and more of these types of ETFs come out. But this is going to give you exposure to the spot price of Solana. Okay, so you don't have to actually own Solana yourself, which is actually kind of nice. You can, you don't have to buy Solana crypto coins and then, a lot of people, what they'll say is put this on a cold wallet or, some other type of storage device, and you need to get your keys, you need to get, your passphrases written down, put them in a vault or whatever. When you buy this ETF, you're getting indirect exposure to Solana, so you don't even have to worry about all that extra stuff, okay? And you're going to get staking rewards, okay? So what in the heck is staking? What does that actually mean? Well, we're going to go to Robinhood for this one, all right? Staking allows you to earn rewards by locking up your crypto. The process varies slightly depending on the network and crypto you choose, each having its own requirements and bonding periods. Once you initiate the staking process, you won't be able to sell that crypto. After the assets are bonded, they'll begin receiving rewards for the duration of the staking period. So, translation, if you were to buy some Solana and then stake it with Robinhood, you can't touch that Solana. So if it crashes and starts to head south, you won't be able to get any, you won't be able to sell it at a moment's notice, okay? Because it's locked up for staking. So what exactly is bonding? All right. Bonding is an estimated protocol rate of the returns you might receive from staking with a particular crypto protocol. Right now, Robinhood offers not only Solana, but also Ethereum. Okay, this rate reflects how much you could earn from staking your crypto through the protocol based on current market conditions. Okay, we can scroll a little bit down. Here's the estimated protocol rate. The thing with the Robinhood is they don't really tell you what that rate is. You have to buy Solana coins through the broker, and then to determine what the staking rate is, unfortunately. But I did find Coinbase does broadcast what that staking rate is, so we'll take a look. All right, but estimated protocol rate. All right, this is what you would receive in rewards. An estimated protocol rate is an estimate of the returns you might receive from staking with a particular crypto protocol, i.e., Solana or Ethereum. This rate reflects how much you could earn from staking your crypto through the protocol based on current conditions and the rules set by the protocol. All right, so just so you guys know, this is not allowed in California, Maryland, New Jersey, New York, and Wisconsin. So this is what might make, something like SSK very, very valuable for someone's portfolio if they want that type of, not only indirect exposure to Solana, but also able to take advantage of staking. All right. So Moving on, all right, we can see that Coinbase actually tells you what you could earn. All right, hopefully you guys can see this. If you can't, I apologize, but you can earn possibly up to 5.13% on your staked Solana. So it's like a yield that comes with the coins. Okay. So, if we kind of bring it all down to stock world, you can look at this as like a dividend paying stock. So if you bought some Solana coins and then staked it with Coinbase, they're going to pay you up to 5.13% when annualized on your Solana. Okay, so this is like that dividend yield. So whether this is desirable or not is entirely up to you. All right, but let's head back over to Rex shares. Okay, so this is how that ETF works basically at a high level, right? When you buy this one product, you're going to get exposure to basically two things, right? You're going to get the indirect exposure to Solana, the coin, and, indirect exposure to staking, right? This is doing it all for you. You don't have to do it yourself. You don't have to buy, wallets. You don't have to do any of that stuff. It's all done for you. Okay. So that's what makes it a little more desirable in my opinion. Okay. So what is the objective of SSK? Well, the fund seeks the investment results of 1x the performance before fees and expenses of Solana, the coin, all right? Plus staking rewards associated with the reference asset. Again, that Solana reward could increase or decrease. You wouldn't really know, all right? Investing in SSK is not the equivalent of investing directly into Solana. So let's just look at a couple things on this product page. I'm not going to go into the prospectus on this video, because the prospectus, I went through it. I'm pretty much just explaining it to you guys in this video. And there's a lot of like legal speak, a lot of jargon in that prospectus. Maybe I'll do a video on how to like look at prospectuses in the future. I don't know. All right, I'm spitballing here. Fund inception date came out July 2nd. So this fund is really not that old. It will be old here, or at least have some performance data in the next couple of days. We'll understand what that Solana stake will be, because it'll have to pay a dividend. All right, so that's really, really cool. We also have a management fee, which is honestly a little on the higher side at 1.4%. Okay, so when you buy this ETF, you're going to be paying a pretty hefty price for it. So you'll have to decide if having that Solana coin, again, all of crypto, a lot of crypto coins are starting to take off now. So if you wanted to take advantage of Solana while still, making a type of yield, a type of, income off that, this could be a good product for that. I'm actually surprised that this has an AUM of $101 million. This was probably one of the fastest growing ETFs that I've seen in recent time, that was able to go from, just a couple million to $101 million. It just kind of shows the demand of something of this product, of a product like this. So, there is, there's safety in numbers, as they say. It does seem like there is a lot of investor demand for something like this, or for a product like this. Okay. Here's just some facts. All right. We're not going to go into it, but here's what is kind of cool, right? Like I said, you're going to get indirect exposure to Solana. They are holding 58.77% of the coin in this ETF. And then they also hold 21 shares Solana staking ETP, all right, at 41.66%. So again, you're getting half and half. You're getting almost half and half, really. You're getting half direct or indirect exposure to Solana, and then the other half is going to stake Solana, which is really, really cool. All right, and then you guys can see here, they're holding some, obviously some treasuries like most of these ETFs do. And then they just have a little bit of cash sitting on the sidelines. All right. So this is not a high yield cover call ETF of any sorts. This is not, a super high yielding product. They're going to pay out based on the staking yield of whatever they're going through. Okay. So whatever that Solana staking yield is what you'll be paid out. And again, as we saw with Coinbase, currently it's at 5.13%. So it could be anything really. And I saw some items for Robinhood, some forums and posts saying that, Robinhood was at about 7%. And then now I'm also seeing or reading that it's probably closer to like, what Coinbase is offering. So again, it can change. You have no control over that. All right. So that's pretty much it. It is a monthly payer for this ETF. So, it's not going to be a weekly payer. It is going to be a monthly payer. All right. I doubt they will change that in the future. So that's basically it for SSK and what it is. So how might an investor include something like this in their portfolio? All right. So this is my high yield income portfolio, or this is really just my entire portfolio. All right. I always like to look at things in a, kind of a pie whenever I think about allocation strategy. All right. So if I was going to be including something like this Rex Shares SSK to my portfolio, as you guys can see, and I got to get my little red pen here, but as you guys can see, I have like a Bitcoin strategy. I have like a treasury strategy. I have a REIT strategy. And then, some growth is in here. And then the rest is kind of like the high yield income ETFs. So how could I include something like this? Well, you would have to understand your portfolio at a high level. But, if you wanted to open up your portfolio to a little bit of risk, with some growth, I would, probably start at something like this, maybe like a little slice to this SSK, on a hypothetical, let's say $10,000. Maybe you have 10% to, this Solana staked ETF, right? Or maybe it's less than that. Maybe you already have some Bitcoin or a Bitcoin ETF, or maybe an MSTR, or maybe even a Misty in there. You guys got to understand, like, what is your allocation in your portfolio? If you understand your allocation, it actually paints a really, really interesting picture. So for me, I track my allocations to all of my holdings. This is the most up-to-date one that I have. But if I wanted to include SSK, but I didn't really want to go over this 10%, I could allocate maybe, 0.9% to SSK, or if I really wanted to, maybe I could cut this in half, from the Bitcoin strategy, I could cut that in half and maybe add, a couple $1,000s to SSK to bring it up to maybe a 3 or a 4% allocation of the whole portfolio. Again, I like to think in terms of when I look at portfolio, diversification or allocation strategies, I like to look at it as a simple pie. Okay. And then you guys can kind of figure out from there what makes the most sense for you. If you want to be more risk on, you could include SSK at a higher allocation, right? At a higher weighting in your portfolio. For me personally, I will not be investing in SSK, not because I don't believe in it, not because I don't believe in Solana, or I don't like staking or anything like that, or I don't like Rex shares. I just don't see it fitting in this portfolio at this time. All right. But if you are a fan of, Solana, you like the coin, you like the prospect it has of going further, you like the project as a whole. Personally, I don't understand Solana or the mechanics behind it. But if you do and you want to make a yield on it, then SSK could be a potential candidate for your portfolio. So that'll pretty much do it for me, guys. I hope you got some value from this video. Again, just to go back to the poll, if you guys have any ETFs that you would like me to review, all right, because there's thousands of these things out there. But if you have any ETFs you would like me to review that follows kind of a similar format of this video, please let me know down below in the comment section. Other than that, you guys have a great day, a great rest of your night. I will see you in the next video. Take care.